There you go. I was muted. Hey, everybody, Dadman Walking 55 here, coming to you live. I don't know what the hell StreamYard's doing. I'm so sick of getting StreamYards, and they're screwing every friggin' thing up. Look, I cover the whole thing now. This friggin' platform is becoming a piece of crap. Just this is ridiculous. I've had this with a friend last night. We were looking at all these things. I'm trying to make sure I've got the right link before I delete it because it created two more links again. So give me a second. I apologize for the delay. I want to make sure I don't get it. This is sorry, folks. This is ridiculous because if I delete the wrong one that's on YouTube, we'll have this problem again. So, yes, people, this, I think if you can hear me now, this is the correct stream. But StreamYards went ape shit crazy last night, ending up putting stuff where you fly to Mars or something. And now all the settings are different. You can't fit yourself in the screen normally like we did before, where you could see the background without it looking stupid like this. We got this. We can go with this, but this is kind of stupid. Yeah, I've got two YouTube links out there right now. Earlier, what happened was I assumed and deleted one of them. Well, apparently both links work to this, but when I deleted the one link, obviously you didn't see anything over there. Oh God. So all right. Well, and they've done this to this. This is what. There you go. At least we got this finally. Oh my goodness. All right. So I think everybody made it over here somehow. You guys are great. Thanks for following me over. I appreciate that. So, God, I'm going to have to clean it all up. Yeah, I'm going to have to clean up YouTube Studio when it's in a few minutes. It's bizarre what is going on with YouTube also. Folks, thank you for your patience. I appreciate your patience. See, that's what I don't understand. I deleted the vertical stream, I thought. I don't get why they do this crap, and this is the first time I've had to do this with this. So I will leave them both up, I guess, for now. But guys, thank y'all so much for that. I'm going to have to figure out what to do for tomorrow night's squirrel stream so that we don't have this problem tomorrow night. It is so I may have to play with this. I don't get why they fart around with this system. It works as it is. All right. Well, hey, yay! It looks like the Gators are going to somehow beat FSU in basketball. Ooh, that was a scary game. Oh God. Well, I see it now. I've got two streams here, and I shouldn't have that. Well, anyway. Yeah. Well. Hello, weirdo. Weirdo, you're local. Yeah, I don't know. The day's going. It's gotten strange. That's for sure tonight. Starting this stream, but anyway, 12 of y'all here with us tonight. Thank y'all so much. We're at 747 subscribers. We were at 750 for a minute. Let's get 3 more subs in and hit 750 and have a party. But hey, hit that like button, share and subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all being here tonight. I'm trying to. Oh shoot. Well, I need to delete that tweet because that tweet now is wrong because that's. Oh well. Hey, I'm doing good because you guys are here. Thank y'all for being here tonight. We appreciate it very much. So, oh my, this is. Oh well, all you can do is laugh at it. So let's see how let's go. I'm sorry I cannot type and talk. We will definitely get in the world of college football in just a moment. New poll out for the college playoffs tonight, so we'll take a look at that for a few minutes and have see what you think, see what we think, or waiting on JT to possibly show up. He's had a lot going on, so I will be live. All right. Oh gosh. Well, That's going to be interesting. I might have to play with this new stream later tonight because this is complete new. This is completely new to me, having the two options, and I don't like having two options. But all righty, so let's see. Okay, I got that's the old one. I'm gonna have to pull that down. We got that one. We got okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see a buddy. I see what you said. It is a vertical. Wow, that's just insane. This is insane. Hey, Yolanda, good to see you. Hey, I'll always love when you say hi. So, all right, good to see you, Yolanda. Feel free to hang around and say hi for some more football as we do this. Well, anyway, this is a bizarre. So, folks, we're learning together. I have got to let the missus know about this at some point because I don't know. I don't like having a vertical, and I don't have a landscape, but I don't know. I'll have to figure. I'll have to figure out how to get out of it, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's see where we go. Let's go ahead and say hi to everybody. We missed Snortopoopas. He said hi on the other stream, but we had to delete it. Come here because apparently when I deleted that one, it wrecked the whole stream. All right, and Fallout Dave, hi again. Yeah, hi Dave, good to see you again. Yes, as you said, welcome in. Hit the like, subscribe buttons. As of now, I guess it is the right one, Deeple. Are there two streams? You pick one. Yeah, so you got the regular that you and Dave are in, Deeple, and others. Weirdo Local is in the vertical. Yolanda was in the vertical. The vertical. Buddy said, I'm not watching vertical on a computer. I don't blame you. It's really, really odd. But hey, it's been a good day. It's been a good day. Remember veterans, those have served and all around the, in the country. And thank you. My kid created that. Very good. It's a banana and a football combination of two of our favorite things, which is sports and Fortnite here. Oh, thank you for the sub. We appreciate that so much. And hey, yeah, it doesn't have a lot, but we have a lot of good stuff. We have a lot of good dedicated people too. Yes, long time no see. No time no see. Weirdo, I do this more because out of hobby than anything else, but I appreciate it very much. So, Chewy, what's up? How are you doing? Good to see you too. Good to see you too. Chewy said, I had to check out what's been going on with college football for a group of fives, and it was not a great weekend for them, be sure. But with the new week of its selection show, now South Florida, yep, we're going to take a look at the current standings very soon. We will take a look at that tonight as we go through this. You do have, yeah, I know. It was nice having day off today, but got to go in the morning, but hopefully not. Yes, yeah. That's why we try to get to bed early tonight and go from there. Speaking of last week's games, one thing that we'll take a look. Normally we just start on Saturday's games, but last Friday night was a game of interest that really, like Chewy mentioned about the group of five. Tulane went on the road and beats Memphis 38-32, and a high-key game for a lot of teams. As we see now, we will see, as Chewy had mentioned, South Florida moves now up into the playoff picture in the group of five, with Memphis losing this game to Tulane. Tulane really took a good lead on Memphis and did not let go of it. And again, the group of five teams here that you've got them, and there's really little room of error, as we'll also see what happened with BYU this week. Another case of sorry, something was playing. Another case where BYU ends up getting skipped in the most recent poll after losing to Texas Tech. Tulane had a 35-17 lead at halftime. Memphis rallies late but falls short by 6. Shaking up the playoff picture once again. Hey, yeah, dude, there's two streams running, Deeple. There's one that's in a vertical format. There's the one in the landscape format, and I've got to figure out how to deal with this and how to set streams up going forward for that, so we don't have that again. So, and yeah, that happens. Hold on a second. I gotta send JT the new link. Sorry. I'll have to explain it to him what happened. So, but it's a chaos. But you know what? This type of stuff keeps us young and on our toes. You know. Yeah, there's two. There's the vertical and there's the. I don't know. Right now, I'm on my own team. Jess is laughing. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. But good to see you too, Jess. How are you doing? Let's see. Okay. Hey, JT.
Okay, now I can get in.
dude, there are two streams.
Well, yeah. Why am I seeing two streams?
There's a vertical and there's a landscape. I did not know what I was doing when I set it up before, and it didn't look like I had options to deny one of them. I got to figure it out. I might have to test some setup streams when we're done because it's what does StreamYard do this crap? You know, just keep it simple.
I can't see. I mean, the progress. I can't see anything going on. It's just waiting for you.
Well, the two streams are live now, though. So I don't know.
Oh, but one of them says that it's waiting and it's upcoming, but it's scheduled for right now and it's waiting for you.
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
People are chatting in there.
Yeah, but I'm seeing the stream and they're seeing us though. Yeah, Deeple said two streams. Yeah. Okay. You found the right one. Thank you for looking around to find the right one. It's like, oh yeah, I think it was 10-7 that Philly Green Bay game. What a wonderful Monday Night Football game. Yes, it's magic. I may have to actually, like I said, when we're done, I may have to set up a new test stream just to see what's going on because this is ridiculous. Yeah. You know, and there was no warning of it. It just popped up and it was like, what is all this stuff? And then like last night I was with a friend and they brought in Mars. StreamYard's going to Mars. And it's like, why do I want to go to Mars? Anyway. Well, we were talking about the Tulane-Memphis game. It was really an important game on Friday night. So, not that I know of any Windows update. No, not that I'm aware of. But yeah, Chewy had a comment here about the group of fives. Memphis had a chance against Tulane. Rally came short, and Memphis loses at home to Tulane 38-32. Yeah, we knew Navy was going to look bad against Notre Dame because Notre Dame's going to be gifted a free playoff spot, as they always do.
Oh, yes. Yes, I actually looked all through that today, Dad, man. I was like, I wonder how Notre Dame is going to get that free playoff spot. Exactly my dialogue. And I looked at their schedule again, and I was like, oh, that's right. They don't play anybody except for the ones they lose to.
Yeah,
it's magical how poorly you have to do to get in. Meanwhile, you know. Indiana, if they did that, they would be on the outside looking in if they hadn't won every single game right now. Or Alabama, as much as I hate to say it, amazing team this year. And
wow,
yeah,
whoa, Hades is frozen over.
Yeah,
Legatus, good to see you. Yes, I think you made it to the right one. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm going to have to plan to set up my stream for tomorrow night when we're done. So, because it's like, I don't know, Legatus. I know that there's the vertical and there's the horizontal,
but one of them, this one's the horizontal. The vertical one doesn't look like it's actually started. So the other one, I put in the link to this.
Well, no, I can see the vertical. I'm actually seeing the vertical. Weirdo, your local and Yolanda were over on those. And Deepak was over there at one point.
That stream on YouTube hasn't started yet.
No, it's JT. We're talking right now.
I know. This stream started.
How does that stream not start? Because I'm sitting here watching us talk on that one, on the vertical.
So there's two streams on YouTube. One of them is this one, the Prime Universe, with the horizontals. The other one is the Kurtzman J.J. Abrams universe with the verticals. And that one the chat's open and it says like 4 people are waiting.
Yeah, it's like
and that one has not started yet.
Yeah, see, Deeple said Vertical was live for him also.
For me,
So
it's not live.
I know, I saw that because on my phone it was not live, but on my computer it's live. Deeple, I don't know that I can close. Look, at this point, I'm afraid of trying to close anything. I'm just going to go forward with it, and we'll just have to deal with it later. But yeah, I mean, I will work on this on setting tomorrow night. I mean, it kind of like put both there, but I did not see an option to get rid of one of them.
You get double the watch hours right now. I mean,
yeah. How about double the subscribers? I had somebody that said on that side that said they subscribed. Now, if they're still here, I don't know. But see, what's weird is it only shows 9 on YouTube and only 1 YouTube stream, not 2. Jess hears us talking, so that's why I think it's live. I think it's live. She's on mobile. So I think it's live. I think it's going through. It's just anyway.
Aren't you glad that the premium product that you have to fork over funding for is
just leave the damn thing alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I know. I saw that damn Mars thing too. Golly. Chew's out here having comments, and I gotta worry about friggin' YouTube or no StreamYard doing that stupid stuff. So Chewy does say that South Florida controls their destiny should they beat Navy, but last week's for the American Conference going to be tough for sure. Whichever teams will emerge if the CFP were to start. Yeah, because like I said, Tulane went on the road, really got a good lead on Memphis. Memphis fell short in its rally, but now if all you need is Navy to beat Tulane.
Maybe the conference champion gets in. To me, it doesn't matter what South Florida does. They're going to find a way to get like the Notre Dame in and some other stuff, and it's going to be crooked.
Well, we will definitely take a look at that. We will definitely take a look at that. Yeah, like I said, this game was 35-17 at the half. Actually expanded 38-17 in the third quarter before Memphis started clawing back in the game and ended up falling short 38-32. Did you see any of this game?
No.
Jess
put all these games on the super expensive networks that nobody wants to pay for.
Jess said the other one works like a short. It minimizes the stream on my phone and paused it. Interesting. So, all right, but that's it. But see, the football really started. College football really started last Friday night. This game had big ramifications for the playoff spots, and Memphis was controlling its own destiny, but not anymore. Oh, I think just what JT said. Yeah. How about the double the subscribers? Yeah. That's too funny. Oh, my gosh. Leave a like
on both streams. So
hey, there you go. That works.
You get 2 thumbs up tonight, Dad, man. How about that?
Hey, thanks. Jess, I know there's all kinds of crap out there. I'm just gonna have to clean it up later. And I'll probably work to test tomorrow night's stream, get it set up tonight while I wanted to go to bed, but I'm gonna try to set it up where it looks like it's right. So yeah, hey, it's not my fault. StreamYards did this crap. That's like
even the link you sent me didn't even work.
Because I deleted that stream. That was the original stream that had 2, so I deleted it.
I was like, it showed you live. No, I went in there and it showed you live.
Yeah.
You weren't in there and the screens were gray.
Yep.
So the confusion never ends, I guess.
But hey, Deeple, y'all practiced against Purdue last week. 34-10.
Oh, that's right.
Boiler up, toot. Also on Friday night, Houston, the Cougars.
I'm glad I got you trained for that.
Man. You're trained.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, Houston Cougars go on the road and win a last-second game against UCF, 30-27. Connor Wegman threw for 223 yards for the Cougars. Also on Friday night, Northwestern goes out to the Pacific Coast, and USC beats them 38-17 in 19th ranked Trojans move on with that. Going through what we have, actually, Chewy had a comment that Kirk may be right. Whatever team wins American can get in, but James Madison now has a better percentage chance than the week before, barring if they don't lose. Also, the Mountain West didn't look great as Hawaii held for a home win against San Diego State, so the game against Boise State for the Aztecs is key, barring anything crazy. I tell you, I like James Madison because in the last few years, they've been a team that's gone in and knocked off some really big teams. Yeah, Jess, I said 10-7. It was a really boring-looking game. The weirdest score that I've seen in a long, long time. So, yeah,
it's weird who they pick for Monday Night Football. Or
yeah, yep. Legata said both streamers and OBS have been effing things up since Microsoft made in only one Windows operating system being supported. Yep. Yeah, I know. That's what I was afraid of, buddy. Which to me is going to be a problem trying to send out two links, it cause confusion with people. So maybe they'll get rid of it because it's hideous. I mean, I didn't see anybody else having this problem, but I don't know. Maybe it's a new thing. Maybe there's a way you can defeat it in the setup. I don't know, but all right.
You're roboting on your own stream, Dad, man. I'm wondering if your bandwidth is getting chewed up.
Oh, I don't know. Who knows? Well, we'll do the best we can. We'll get through it and go to bed, I guess, if that's what happens. But number 2, Indiana survives on the road at Happy Valley. Penn State pushed this game. Indiana wins this game on a really crazy back of the end zone catch. Everybody's equating it to a Michigan State Notre Dame catch from years ago. But Indiana wins this game 27-24. Did you get to see any of this game?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Well, Ethan Grugmeyer for Penn State, who threw for under 100 yards the week before, threw for 219 yards in this game in a losing effort. But Indiana, I mean, Penn State played for a half against Ohio State. They pushed Indiana. Maybe Penn State's not as bad as we thought, but definitely the coaching change was needed. So yeah, Deeple said, we play against UCLA at night this week. That's going to be a massacre. Yep. And then Jess said, of course, it happens when I've been left home, so I can't get help. You there, JT?
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
It gets so quiet. I'm so gun shy right now. It's
maybe it's my noise cancellation. I can breathe into the mic for you, so you have.
No, it's okay. We got to be careful. We don't want too much asthma, but we're good in theory. But the first and third games are blowouts, but not type of blowouts. So fan base of Texas Tech. But I still last week I talked about how bad everything was.
It's triple header. Yeah.
What? Oh.
Yeah. I'd agree with Chewy on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I did just send you something.
Yeah, I saw that. I was trying to interpret that, but
it's 2-year-old. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh wow. Jeez. I had one streamer who for several months the streaming program kept making multiple potential streams, usually set a minute apart, and in the end the streamer had to create a new one. Yeah. I will have to look at it and see what happens. Oh, JT Kirk, breathe in and out like Zodiac Killer. Well, this was a chance to threaten, the Big Ten matchup we've been presuming will be Ohio State, Indiana, but I think this was the last real test for Indiana. So we pretty much will have Indiana and Ohio State see, and that's in Indianapolis, Indiana. I wonder who's going to have more fans, Indiana or the Ohio State University.
Oh, geez. That's going to be tough to determine, but it'll be a sellout almost immediately. That's a tough one, right? Because Ohio State fans are used to them winning. Maybe they don't want to pay for that game. On the other hand, the tickets are going to be more reasonably priced than a playoff game.
Yep. People says no doubt Ohio State.
One you go to.
Yep. Well, Depot's still
You-
saying Ohio State no matter what, though. I mean, that's the thing is how.
Then the Indiana people, I mean, do you really want to sell your tickets for 5x? Who knows the next time you're going to be that good again?
Yeah.
Um,
Can they get them? That's the big thing.
yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Okay, well, moving forward, I mean, that's the big thing with this game was the comeback by Indiana and just a miracle catch in the back of the end zone, dragging the foot down, and they a lot of people made a comparison to that Michigan State Notre Dame game where in that case the receiver caught the ball at the very back of the end zone. It was really, really interesting to see the parallels in that. Texas A&M, third-ranked Aggies go on the road to Missouri, and they put them away 38-17. Marcel Reed throws for 221 yards. Game that I figured pretty much worked the way it should have. A&M's really a team of destiny this year. Everybody keeps waiting and joking for the shoe to drop on them, but so far they've managed to keep going. Also, fourth-ranked Alabama holds serve against LSU 20-9. We see the appearance. Ty Simpson throws for 277 yards. Really not the best running Alabama team, but they have been throwing the ball very well with Simpson. Garrett Nussmeier again struggles, and Michael Van Buren comes in. So, but LSU manages 9 points in this game. 20-9 is the loss. I do want to talk about some of the LSU situation. Chewy said, I had to see LSU Alabama through the Tigers lost the team, had some promise, but penalties and coaching mistakes for some reason. Bama did not cash in as often, barring one of the scoring drives. Also, the Tide's run offense was a glaring weakness, though Ty Simpson is supposed to be known as a dual threat guy. I've not seen much dual threat from him. He's been more throwing the ball than he has anything else. And hello to Connie Cleary. Good to see you. Good to see you. Very good. How are you doing tonight? Glad to see you at the Fortnite stream earlier. And it'll be red and white, one way or the other. So TV can't tell. That is funny. I did pull up an article though. Let's see. Screw you. I hate these damn ad blockers when they don't want you to ad block, or that they force you to. Because now my story that I had, I've got to find another place to get to.
Brave browser instead.
Yeah.
Well, it's an auto one built that they can't get around.
Yep. Hey, Sashi, good to see you. Good to see you too. How are you doing, Sashi? Well, especially with Chewy here, this is one that's interesting. Have you heard of the latest about the LSU coaching situation?
Have I heard the latest, or has he heard the latest?
Have you heard the latest?
Well, what's the latest?
Well, we still have the interim coach, but the latest with Brian Smelly, as you call him.
I haven't heard anything about Brian Smelly. Other than the fact that he wanted the most money he possibly could get, right, and they offered him a buyout, I think, and he didn't want it. He wants what the contract says. Is that the latest?
I'm going to go into that right now. Yeah, buddy, okay. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi to you earlier. I mean, in all the chaos and confusion. Wow. Hit the like on it, whatever stream you're on, and hit it again and again and again. This article is from thesportingnews.com. There is a buyout controversy because you remember last week there's a rumor that LSU offered him a lump sum to just walk away. Well, apparently there's a lot of disagreement on what had happened, because now he is suing, saying he was not fired and he did not agree to the buyout, and LSU is trying to say he was, and now we've got he said, she said with this arrangement. LSU's wanting to stick with the lump sum, and he wants the maximum payout. I'm going to read from the article from Sporting News article. It's titled "Brian Kelly Buyout Controversy Explained Why Former LSU Football Coach is Suing University." The article says the drama just won't settle in Baton Rouge. After LSU announced it fired head coach Brian Kelly on October 26th, the two sides are still negotiating how to handle the remainder of his contract, and the school is reportedly seeking to fire him for cause. That's new, because before it was, well, we agreed to part ways, or he was going to take less to leave. Well, When Kelly was hired in November 2021, he signed a 10-year, $95 million contract with LSU, but he was dismissed in the middle of just his fourth season, which means there is still a hefty chunk of change owed. Hey, Sam. How are you, my friend? Good to see you tonight. Yes. Sashi, don't ask. It's just, it's a thing. I mean, we got 16 people here tonight, 15 on the YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe and like, and let's get over 750 for sure tonight. We were at it earlier. But it's just, Sashi, I don't know. I got to tell the missus when I'm done. On Monday night, it was reported Kelly's lawyers had taken a position that the school had not, quote, formally terminated the coach, and that LSU was now seeking to fire him for cause to avoid paying the full $54 million buyout. Although Kelly initially appeared open to a settlement, he has reportedly rejected 2 settlement offers by LSU. LSU has undergone significant turnover in the athletic department in recent weeks. Former LSU athletic director Scott Woodward, who hired Kelly, parted ways with the school shortly after Louisiana's governor made public comments about Woodward not hiring Kelly's replacement. The school had since promoted interim athletic director Verge Alsbury as the new permanent AD, which wasn't without its own controversy. So here's what's going in here. Yes.
Now, the other thing on this, and can you still hear me okay?
I can. Yeah, you're fine.
Not popping well. Okay. The for-cause termination clause is defined as one of several parts that it could be potentially eligible for due to, 1, material and substantial NCAA rule violations. So not like small ticky-tack mess-ups. I assume that there's a level to those violations that, meets that criteria. 2, being convicted of a felony or any crime involving gambling, drugs, or alcohol. Okay. Well, I don't know about 2 and 3, but gambling also doesn't seem likely to me. Or 3, engaging in serious misconduct, which either displays a continual serious disrespect for the mission of LSU or constitutes moral turpitude. So this would be affairs with, other coaches' wives, or all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
I had a hard time believing it, but I don't know. My opinion on this is kind of skeptical.
I think the best thing in this case, I have no opinion, because who knows what the truth is over there.
Of course.
I'm about to read some of the things in here. It looks like that you had an athletic director that started stepping out on his own with part of the thing. So
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Teague A. Hell Admiral. He said the glitch in the new StreamYards feature, it generates streams in letterbox and landscape and creates multiple streams. Yeah. Yep. I know. We found that out the hard way. It's crazy. I don't. Hopefully they fix it soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I think you have.
Because that's interesting.
The best opinion is no opinion right now. Because there's all those. And
I'm sorry. I'm back to we'll talk about that. I need to move off the tech stuff, folks. But Teague is over on the other one. Is feeding StreamYards, but the stream I'm on, it's not there. So, all right, folks. Whatever version you're watching on, feel free to make your comments, and we will bring them in. We're seeing all the comments. We'll bring them in. Or go to Twitch where Chewy is, and you know what? You don't deal with this damn headache. So, sorry. But yeah, I'd heard a lot of that talk about moral turpitude, different things that they've had in here. Well, the USA Today article, Sporting News article, goes on to say that his buyout was $53,293,333. Although initially it appeared as Kelly was open to accepting a settlement from the school. On November 5th, WAFB 9 in Baton Rouge obtained an email that Kelly wrote to Woodward and other LSU athletics administrators, including Alsbury, that he was, quote, open to your desire to reach a settlement of what's owed to me under the contract, although, of course, it would have to make sense financially, end quote. But on November 9th, the Advocate reported that Kelly is now demanding that the school pay his contract out in full. Kelly and his attorneys sent a letter to Alsbury and the LSU's Board of Supervisors member John Carmouche. The document asked for written confirmation by 5 p.m. on Monday, November 10th, that the school will, quote, fulfill its contractual obligation, end quote, to pay the remainder of the contract in full. The letter adds that Kelly will pursue all available legal remedies if he does not receive confirmation. The newspaper added that the school offered Kelly lump sum payments of $25 million and $30 million the day he was fired, but those were rejected by Kelly. The offer was made when Woodward was still LSU's AD. Per the terms of Kelly's contract, his buyout sum is required to be paid in equal monthly installments through 2031, which is the end of his contract. Kelly's attorneys claim that since LSU fired him without cause, he will be owed 90% of his remaining annual compensation under the terms of the deal. Kelly would be open to any additional settlement offers as long as confirmation is received that the school will abide by the contract and firing him without cause. So, it's, of course, and I mentioned some other article payouts. Jimbo Fisher's $77 million. You know, wow. Just, and Woodward, the former LSU AD, was also at Texas A&M involved in the Jimbo Fisher hiring over there. So it's, the article goes on to ask, why did, oh yeah, I get you, Teague. Thanks for all the update. I appreciate it.
I can't even see that stream that he's talking on.
It's I know it's crazy. So, Chewy said though, I think Kelly should get paid though. I don't think there was not enough back of the scenes things to where LSU can't pay the full amount. This not Les Miles or Ed Orgeron type issues with character or players paying badly that left the program in a negative spotlight. But these two get this issue hashed out. That's kind of what I'm suspecting, is that, you know, AD may have exceeded some of his authority prematurely, and now, of course, Kelly's going to want every dime he can get. You know, it's probably his last job at his age and stuff, and it's also with cause versus without cause. Makes a big difference when you go to hire people. You know, and it makes a very big difference in the legalities of the buyouts and what's owed under the contract. So this is where the lawyers get involved. So they said, why did LSU fire Brian Kelly? Tigers made it just one SEC championship game in 4 seasons, never were close to make it to the college football playoff. In fact, Kelly was the first LSU coach to not win a national title or SEC championship as a head coach within 4 years. His predecessors in Nick Saban, Les Miles, and Ed Orgeron all did this in their first 4 seasons. Now, what could be next for Brian Kelly? He could find his next job at Penn State, maybe. The NFL or retire. I don't see him in the NFL. No,
I don't see him as an NFL coach either. Not that he look. I call him Brian Smelly because I'm just kind of furious with how good he was at Notre Dame all those years, right?
Yeah.
Like, one thing I won't say is that he was a bad coach.
Yeah,
like if he decided he wanted to come to Michigan State, I wouldn't like it. But if he won, fine. It's because he played. It's because he coached at Notre Dame.
So would you take him at Michigan State? You really would take? I wouldn't blame you.
At this point, would you blame me?
I'd take him in Gainesville too. I know it's like, he's got a proven track record of winning 9-10 games a year. It's like when you're stuck at 3 to 6 games a year, it's like, hell, we'll take 9 games.
Does Penn State think they're too good to take him? I kind of think they are in that mindset. I don't know if you want to step into the Big Ten right now, though. I mean, it is kind of who can pay me.
Yeah.
He is not a young spring chicken anymore of a head coach, but he's got a good amount of time left. If he wanted to do another 10 years,
yeah,
I think he's reasonably got that in because look, you don't want a coach that's like 75. Joe Turner did not really coach that team for a good number of years at the end.
Yeah. Buddy, thanks for sending Teague that link. But Teague is still on the other one. He said, since we're talking college football, could we please have Coach Belichick's girlfriend on screen, please? Oh, God. Yes. Talk about a train wrecker. Oh, my gosh.
Jeez.
Well, the article could go ahead.
So just to finish up on that Brian Kelly thing, I think it is going to be tough for these schools to justify paying him the money that he is going to ask for, right? So, to that respect, I think the market might be tough to bear paying him what LSU agreed to pay him, just because schools are seeing. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. On the one hand, there's a ton of schools vying for top coaching talent. That's proven. On the other hand, a lot of these schools are still paying 2 coaches ago off, right? They've
Texas A&M is for sure.
Yeah, it's like they're paying a second mortgage and now they're trying to buy a vacation home.
Dude, I tell you what, that's why Florida should have fired Billy Napier last year, because then they would have been it could have been able to get either Lane Kiffin or any other coach that they wanted to. Now they're talking about upward of maybe 40 programs looking for coaches. It probably won't end up that high, but hey, Weirdo, your local. The thing is that we are on a separate link. You are on the vertical link, buddy. Can you send the link over into that chat over there for me, so that people over there can actually be part of this vertical, the landscape stream, please? I'd appreciate that. Yeah, Weirdo, we're still here. We got like 14 people. We got 4 on the Twitch side tonight. Thank you over there on the Twitch side. Yeah. So, buddy, if you can put this link over in that other one, I'd appreciate it, because this is confusing as Hades. The article concludes, though, Brian Kelly's lawsuit that he's suing LSU to ensure he receives his full $54 million buyout, taking the position that LSU has not formally terminated him, which is kind of what it sounded like. Was they were trying to, well, we don't want you coaching anymore, but we're going to try to see what we can smooth talk into.
Mm-hmm.
But while it's clear that what reason LSU reportedly believes they can fire Kelly would cause, the lawsuit signals the veteran coach is prepared to fight the school in court. The suit alleges that Woodward did not have the authority to fire Kelly, nor make the settlement offers to him. Thus, Kelly was never terminated per ESPN, which that is very interesting, because the board of supervisors of the LSU governor said he's not going to, that Woodward was not going to hire the new coach. So,
that the whole thing with the governor speaking up, I don't think that's going to help anybody either, because isn't he technically in the chain of command there?
Yeah,
because it's a state-run university.
Yep. The lawsuit filed on Monday contests each of LSU's quote new positions on Kelly's firing. Oh man. So the lawsuit states Coach Kelly's representatives informed LSU that Coach Kelly disagreed with each of LSU's new positions, including 1, the idea that he somehow had not been terminated, 2, that the then athletics director Woodward was not acting with authority in a meeting attended by several LSU athletics officials, including current athletics director Osbury, and 3, that there were any grounds for termination with cause, or that LSU could manufacture any such grounds after his termination, thus necessitating this action, which was the lawsuit. Yeah. So, that's always been, the way they fund it. They don't fund it like the Gators. Gators run it through the Athletic Association. So that's true with down here. But it's going to be interesting to see and watch how this goes, because we've talked about these buyouts already, JT, so much, how much money is involved in them, and how many schools are paying multiple buyouts. But I think it goes to say, if you're going to fire a guy, fire him and make it clear. You can't.
Well, part of this is the boosters' fault, right? Your biggest supporters, it's their fault, and they've got to pony up, because they ponied up to pay him, and then they weren't happy with him and wanted him gone. And now, okay, well, this is like a scenario where you sign for a car. You sign a note for a car, right? And it's a 5-year note, because that's all you can afford.
Right.
And then 3 years in, you decide you want a new one, because the new one's faster. Well, you're going to carry over that negative equity into the next car, and then already you're paying a lot more money. Now, a year and a half in on this second one, you decide you want to go crazy, and you want a massive SUV. Well, you got to roll in the negative equity on the previous 2. And all of a sudden, you're paying $1,400 a month on, a base version of an SUV that already lost 2/3 of its value just driving out of the gate. And, what a disaster for the LSU crowd and a lot of these other schools.
Yeah.
Florida State, I don't, or not Florida State, they're keeping their coach. Florida, I think, is got this in a lot less of a dire situation, but I don't know how deep the booster pockets are. Ohio State is the only one that can really just lease a new coach every year, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it even seems like Alabama's struggling. The pockets only go so deep in a lot of these schools.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we have. One other coaching news was there was a rumor that Oregon State's interim head coach got fired this weekend. They lost to Sam Houston. Remember Sam Houston, the winless team, the bottom 10? Well, they beat the Beavers, and it's like there's a rumor out there. I found out tonight that was not true. I mean, how bad would it take to fire the interim head coach?
Why? Why would you bother? At this point in the season, you're going to lose games.
I heard that
that's why you fired the first guy.
Well, they said the boosters
were supposed to be in there just to.
They said the boosters met. They said the money people met with the school president, but apparently that was false. Well, let's get through the rest of these because we're shooting for 90 minutes tonight, especially considering these technical issues. So, folks, if you have any comments about certain games, please put them out there. Let's have them because I do want to make sure we look ahead a little bit to next week and look at the 225. Yeah, exactly.
I did want to talk about the USC game just for a minute because I think this school is a bubble school if we can.
Sure. Northwestern at USC, that was on Friday night. Yeah, USC wins this game 38-17. Jaden Mave throws for almost 300 yards. Yeah, okay. What do you want to say about this one?
Yeah, so for people that don't know, Northwestern does have a slightly winning schedule. I think they're one game over 500. 3-3 in the Big Ten now. So they were playing against USC was playing against a Northwestern that's probably overachieving for where they are, and USC is ranked in a number of schools that are kind of at the borderline or just below the line for CFP contention or Big Ten championship contention. And USC has had maybe a tougher schedule than some of these other schools. They lost a 2-point game to Illinois, number 23 at the time. They beat a 15 Michigan 31-13, and then they lost to Notre Dame by 10 points. Every other game they've won this year, against easy opponents. But then they finish off the year home against Iowa, who is 21, which is a contemporary team of theirs. I would say they have to beat that. They have to beat them to even stay ranked in some ways. Then they go on the road at Oregon, and then they have a home game against UCLA, which they should be able to win that game. If they win the next two, one that displaces Oregon maybe out of the top 12, right? And then are they real enough to get in and play for that? Or do they have a large enough fan base that the CFP will put them in? That's what's interesting. I've been kind of silently watching them after they beat Michigan State because I didn't think the USC team was that strong. And then they, kind of split the baby when it comes to those ranked teams. Then they're putting away everybody else.
Well, see, I think with the LA market, though, oh man, we're back to 749 subs tonight. Thank you, folks. But I think that being an LA market, the playoff committee would love to get an LA market like they would Notre Dame or Alabama. There's just something television markets,
Right.
So yeah, I agree. I mean, USC's turning around to have a pretty nice season. They really have. Northwestern has actually become respectable. They were really a joke last year, and they've done. By the way, we got a Northwestern comment. Northwestern, that's Evanston. I went there in 2013 for Doctor Who 50th anniversary simulcast in a movie theater. Nice. That's very, very nice. All right. Well, good points about that, JT. That will be interesting to see how they pursue, how they move on, and can they sneak up in there a little bit. We'll take a look at.
Yeah, because who is number three in the Big Ten standings now? It is not Oregon. It's USC.
Wow. Well, we'll have to take a look. We'll take a look. Keep that in mind. We'll look at the playoff projections at this point in a little bit. So, okay, Georgia ends up going to Old Pitt State and Mississippi State. I thought we were going to fight them a little bit further, but no. Gunnar Stockton throws for 264 yards. Nate Frazier runs for 181 for the Georgia Bulldogs. Fifth-ranked Georgia wins by 20 in Starkville. Game that was over pretty well quickly, pretty quick. Speaking of pretty quick, Ole Miss, sixth-ranked Rebels put away Citadel 49-0. And a game that tragically, I hate the way it worked, how it came out. Texas Tech beats BYU 29-7. See, this is a game that I thought BYU would win, even on the road, because hearing about the Texas Tech quarterback situation and injuries and stuff, it was just did not seem like they would be able to. I just didn't see Texas Tech, rallying. With the backup quarterback, third string quarterback, how far that they had to go down the roster because. Looking at that, I see Baron Morton played, threw for 219 yards. They ran for 149 yards on the day, but beat BYU pretty handily, though, for that matter. Bear Buckmeyer, 23-38, only 188 yards, a touchdown and a pick through the air. But the difference is Texas Tech held L.J. Martin to 35 yards rushing. Bear Brockmeyer had 11 carries for 12 yards. So you really have – Texas Tech played a great game defensively, though. I know our friend Sam said they didn't play as well, and they give credit to Texas Tech. That Texas Tech played really, really well. And, of course, BYU loses 2 fumbles and throws a pick, so that's 3 turnovers on the day. I'm not surprised BYU lost at some point, but I'm actually surprised that they lost to Texas Tech more than losing against Iowa State. Fortunately, they had that rally against Iowa State to win that game.
Yeah. Well, me too. I was disappointed to see that it ended that way. Honestly, I really was.
Yeah. Sam said they played a better game and deserved the win. Yeah, exactly. I figured that they. I just did not figure BYU would lose this particular game. But, hey, give credit to the Red Raiders, another up-and-coming team, one that a lot of people have not given a lot of credit of. I know that I've fallen asleep on them. And I think Chewy is one of the people that really watches Texas Tech, I believe. And, I think he's talked about Texas Tech and some of the teams out west a lot. Which I guess it's stupid. ESPN being silly right now.
Oh, okay.
All right, Deepo, you have a good night's rest. Okay. Yep. I understand that being tired today, but hey, thanks for coming through representing the Ohio State University. I know. Even though I don't like saying it that way, but we will respect our wonderful friends that come in here and give us support. And thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it. Taking a look through the rest of these games. I'm going to get to Oregon. Went to Iowa.
Oregon what wins. An escape game. Oh, my gosh.
I saw Iowa take the lead, and I'm like, yay. But then it's like Oregon just marched down and got in the field goal range, kicked the field goal. I was just this game is so boring.
How boring was it?
I wouldn't have even – you couldn't pay me to watch this. It was just like I'd rather watch FSU or Georgia or somebody play because I was like it was downpour, cold, wet, windy, a typical Iowa type of football game.
Well, at halftime it wasn't that boring. You had the safety, right? And then you had a touchdown on each side.
Yeah.
But it was the second half. I get it. The second half, Oregon scored 1 field goal in the third quarter, 1 field goal in the fourth quarter. Iowa scored 9 points in the fourth quarter.
Yep. And of course, they missed the 2-point conversion, which would have helped them there. But, well, just, I mean, I'm like, oh, this is draining it. But Oregon, give it credit. They went out and they won a game. They won a slugfest, which was also, you always wondered, could Oregon win a cold, wet weather, bad weather, cold game, against the beef eaters, space eaters like
Yeah.
Iowa, Nebraska, the big teams of the Midwest. And, they stood toe to toe with them. They really did. So, Chewy said, I thought Texas Tech's win was pretty impressive against BYU. The defense was solid enough and wreaked havoc against BYU's offense, but the highlight was BYU's defense holding best that they could against Tech's offensive attack. Yeah, they held them to 29 points, which was a good effort. Well, we're going to move on. We're not going to waste time on Notre Dame crushes Navy 49-10. We kind of thought that. Upset of the day. Wake Forest goes into UVA, beats the 14th ranked Cavaliers 16-9. They held Virginia's offense down, and it was a Wake Forest offense that has Robbie Ashford, an Alabama transfer. I mean, it's just really, 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 really. So this was an upset I couldn't see coming. I mean, Wake's not any good. They really aren't. And I like Wake Forest. They're a school I like to cheer for, but Virginia, I mean, I think last week when they played Washington State, they struggled to win. There's a couple games I thought Virginia would lose. It was not this one. But hey, give the Demon Deacons credit for going on the road and winning this game. And
that roboted for me, Dad, man.
What's that? Which part of
your description of the game?
Oh, well, we'll just have to keep
it in the middle.
It's okay. It's going to happen. This is going to be one of those technical nights of like, look, I'm just grateful everybody's sitting here hanging out, sharing their thoughts and comments. So,
yeah.
I mean, whatever tech issues are going to be what they are, and hopefully StreamYard gets its act together again. Because I don't think it's me. I think it's them. But there's a positive for BYU fans. They still have Cincy, as well as they should get another crack at Texas Tech. Otherwise, the Red Raiders could face the Bearcats, and Utah is not far behind in the standings. Yep. Wake Forest. Wake Forest. I got that. But yeah, the Demon Deacons. So that's a game that really I don't think a lot of people saw coming. But also Cal goes on the road, beats Louisville 29-26 in overtime.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's surprising because Cal is in the ACC, which doesn't help my brain whatsoever.
I know. And Louisville is because they're in Kentucky, though. It's like still the Pacific Coast teams playing the East Coast teams. Yeah. Yeah. Jeff Brom is a coach I wouldn't mind considering it in Gainesville, because he's an offensive coach, But we'll see what happens with that. But this shakes up the ACC again because talk about standings. Virginia's now lost. Georgia Tech's now lost. I mean, although the Louisville was in position to maybe get closer, now they've lost again.
You'd like to say that this is probably better football and more exciting because you don't know who will win. But you also have to think, okay, if they all keep losing, they're just eliminating themselves from the larger playoff picture.
Yep. That's what SEC did last year. It's just everybody keeps beating themselves and they're cannibalizing on each other. Well, I tell you what, a miraculous turnaround was Vanderbilt is still winning.
Yes.
They
Vandy.
They could have lost this game easily against Auburn. Auburn's finally scores points, 38 points, but Vanderbilt wins this game in overtime 45-38. Diego Pavia throws for 377 yards, which I didn't think he could do. But, hey, Vanderbilt keeps winning, and we're going to see where they sit on the playoff picture just coming up. I kind of want to get through these games and look at the standings and talk about the playoff positioning a little bit more tonight since we're having so many issues. Then we'll take a preview of next week's games. Sam said, I'm pretty confident BYU will rally and we can do well this next game. I love the spirit. Love that spirit. Speaking of that, I mean, Vanderbilt. Who would have ever thought Vanderbilt would be where they are? Same with Indiana.
Now, I think they have a good chance at winning out. They play home against Kentucky next week. They play on the road at Tennessee. Now, that'll be an interesting game to watch.
No, JT. Kentucky is an awesome offensive juggernaut that is unstoppable. And such a great defense.
Okay.
I will explain that in just a moment.
The other thing is I'm looking at what ranking this team is, and I can't help but think that Notre Dame is going to steal their rightful playoff berth.
Yeah, exactly. We got to be put up with another damn Notre Dame team instead of let us get Vanderbilt or somebody different.
Yeah.
Well, also 18th ranked Miami crushes Syracuse 38-10 at home. Here's a big upset. Of course, 13 points is like painful, and they rushed the field in Madison, Wisconsin. Sam doesn't like rushing the field, but they did. But the football's been so bad in Wisconsin that beating 23rd ranked Washington 13-10 caused rushing the field, and good for Wisconsin to finally win a game. Well,
they got rid of themselves as one of the 4 teams that hadn't won a conference game yet in the year, and now there's only 3: Purdue, Boiler up to Penn State, and Michigan State.
Sorry, JT.
Yeah.
Now, Teague says this is Vanderbilt's secret. The Vanderbilt band wears capes. Go Commodores. He's big. Big on the capes in the band. So I know, Sam. I know it's not safe. Security in college. You pounded to me. You will not change my mind. I know, but still, I'm kind of going to still see. I'm mixed on it. I do like it. I think it's a good thing, but I do think it's become done way too often. It should be something reserved for like when when Mississippi State finally won a conference game in 2 years, then you can do it. Or you really got a number 1 team that you beat and you haven't beaten them in 20 years,
not this.
It's happening too often. Looking quickly through the rest of the country, the only other game I really care to talk about any is if y'all do out there, if you want, there's a game that you want to highlight, let me know. 2 games, Clemson 24, FSU 10. The fall of the Seminoles continues. The plunge of the Seminoles from their high water mark in the top 5 earlier this year to now complete irrelevance, where they even lose to Clemson. Just a lot of unhappiness in Tallahassee, but that's another situation with a big buyout that they may not be able to afford to pay. It's like my dad said. The old saying: don't write a check. Don't let your mouth write a check your body can't cash. That's what they're going to have to change these buyouts with these coaches. Billy Napier had like 20+ million for never even coaching in a major conference. Mike Norvell was in a group of 5, and they got him $50 million. He almost has a buyout of what Brian Kelly has.
Well, I tell you, the only way they're going to do it is if they get all the BCS teams to get to the NCAA and get the commissioner to sit down and figure out a way, try to get some regulation into a salary cap on coaches. And I don't know if you could even do that with local laws across all the states.
And anytime
the chances of that happening are pretty low.
And anytime the NCAA tries to do anything, they lose in court because of antitrust laws. That's why they've been trying to get the Congress to act. When it comes NIL or anything else, it becomes a state issue. So, by the way,
so then what you end up seeing is, okay, the schools have zero leverage. I mean, if you're trying to look at how like the art of this deal would be made, you are not going to attract a single coach where you cap or get out of paying them when you don't like the job that they did. There's not a single high-end coach that would take that. You're going to have to end up paying them way more money every year on the front end anyway, just so you get a coach happy enough. And then you're taking a bigger gamble on anyone willing to take that deal. I don't see them getting out of that. I think they created the problem, and they're going to keep paying for it until they realize, hey, I better just stay with this coach.
Yep. But then again, it can be irrelevant, like Florida, what's happened with Florida. Speaking of that, the great old Florida Gators, who was made on of a big, great defense, goes to Lexington, Kentucky, and scores a big 7 points as Kentucky scores 38 points, JT, on this vaunted Florida defense, supposedly. But the talk week has been that this team has officially quit. There's no desire. I mean, I'm not even going to watch the team the rest of the year. It's pointless.
I cashed out on Michigan State. I'm not watching them.
I'll watch Florida State maybe, but there's no point watching them play against Ole Miss. They're going to get crushed. Then they play Tennessee, a game. It'll be the last time Florida plays Tennessee as a regular opponent. But we're so freaking bad. I might watch it just to see if we could beat them. That's the one thing I would say is that I would love to. I would love to beat Tennessee just to hear them scream and yell and stuff. So, but yeah, Florida, Cutter Boley for Kentucky, 168 yards passing, 233 yards on the ground for freaking Kentucky. That is just inexcusable for the Gators, period. By the way, DJ Lagway, 11-19, 83 yards. 1 touchdown, 3 picks.
Yep. What production?
But I will tell you, everybody loves this Trammell Jones guy. I think he's a freshman. He sucks. And 9-17, 60 yards. I wanted to see Harrison Bailey, the Tennessee transfers, who played a couple years at school. I wanted to see Harrison Bailey play some this year, to get a real friggin' quarterback. The Gators have got to get out of this clap, shift crap type of ball control offense. Lagway is mechanics are horrible. He's off balance. He's hurt. You can tell he's not running right. You can tell his footwork is sloppy. They showed one where he kept dropping back, throwing off his back foot instead of stepping up in the pocket. Just 3 more picks though. And some people are like, "Well, you're going to lose people." At this point, why should the Gators care if anybody stays on this roster?
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying how great this Florida roster is, and it's like, you got Vernell Brown, a freshman, great receiver. Dad played at University of Florida. 1 catch for 22 yards. You got 20 completions for 7.2 yards of completion. This guy's supposed to be able to throw the ball down the field. It's just not. I don't know. Just
hard to believe that they get paid for that. But they do, right?
And Kentucky turned the ball over 3 times, and Florida recovered them. So it's like they had their opportunities, but this offense is just so. But I don't think the backup quarterback's any answer.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, they need to put Harrison Bailey in and let him play quarterback and let a kid that can throw the friggin' football down the field. Even though he didn't do much at Tennessee, he did nothing at Tennessee, and he left there a controversy. Friggin' go with somebody that can throw the football. He played at other levels, other schools, and did stuff. These 2 clowns that the Gators have behind the center they're not good, and they're getting worse. Sam says, I feel bad for seniors on those teams who invested time and energy are just now seeing it all fall apart. That is like somebody like Garrett Nussmeier at LSU. He's a senior quarterback. Unfortunately, he's responsible for a lot of the problems, but then again, he has a bad line, no running game. Chewy has detailed those problems with LSU over the year for us. But yeah, I do too. I feel bad for the seniors, that they go out like that. Well, that's the last week in a nutshell. Let's take a look at the current playoff bracket.
One more game. Sorry. Let's see. It was Ohio Bobcats over the Miami of Ohio Redhawks in the MAC.
Oh, yeah?
Which means now there are all 4 teams at the top with 1 loss in the Mid-American Conference. So that's Ohio Bobcats, Miami of Ohio Redhawks, the Buffalo Bulls from New York, and then Western Michigan Broncos. Round out the top 4. So
absolutely
little bit of interesting stuff for folks that are maybe Mid-American Conference MAC school fans. So there we go.
And Rodney Prescott, welcome in. I don't know if I've seen you before, but welcome. Thank you. Lagway cashed that check. Yeah, he did. And good to see you. I think you're over on our other stream. Apparently we have StreamYard did something weird tonight to everybody that's over on that other side. I apologize that it's split like this. I've got to see if there's a way we can deal with it next time.
Split to
Because
3. There's 3 streams out there, apparently.
yeah, and then I got the one on YouTube, Twitch. So
yeah.
So, but yes, exactly. Good. Yes. Yep. We'll take a look at that Oklahoma Bama coming up. That's coming up this week in just a second. Jess said, well, the players have to do the play as coaches say. How much? Yeah, many won't get drafted by the NFL. The problem is that sometimes the coaches stick them in the bad play positions and stuff. The talk about Lagway is that he's still not healthy. He was never healthy all year, and I postulate that the problem is that Billy Napier's offense was not the style to fit Lagway in, with the clap shift and all these tight formations and rollouts and stuff. Lagway's got a cannon of an arm and can throw the ball down the field, and when he's effective, he's throwing the ball down the field. So, but yeah. Hey, Dad is talented. Anyone can one stream, but that man goes for 3. Well, we go big or go home. You know what they say. So, and yeah, we're going to come back to Oklahoma and Bama in just a second. But I wanted to take a quick look here at the playoff positions that came out tonight. We're going to do this instead of really looking at the top 25 in the AP, because at this point the AP poll doesn't matter again anymore. But JT, your thoughts? What we have with the changes of the Memphis loss to Tulane, South Florida moves into the 12th spot as the Power 5 representative, but we've got still really no change. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Indiana. Number 3, Texas A&M. And 4, Alabama. So we got 2 Big Ten, 2 SEC in the top 4 with the first round buys. The games that would be played on campus would be South Florida at 12th seed at number 5, Georgia. Number 9, Notre Dame at Oregon. Whoa, JT, I bet you that if this was true, the committee would flip it and make Notre Dame number 8 and number 9, so they get the home game like they did to Tennessee last year. I'm sorry, screw Miami. The Canes. I really wish Georgia Tech would win out in the conference. I think Georgia Tech's a better football team. But they've got the Canes right now in the 11th seed with only 1 ACC team. Last year, the ACC got 2 with SMU and Clemson. The 6th seed would be Texas Tech Raiders.
They're not going to do that again. They're not going to do that again.
But see, this is a point. I'm in a SEC homer. Texas 10 seed and Ole Miss 7th seed.
Why?
I hate this. And we're going to look at the ranks and stuff, because I think that a team, the Big 12 should be respected for the conference that it is. And looking at this, they only have 1 representative in here, like the ACC. Why does SEC get the other 3? I don't think Texas deserves it.
I don't either.
Texas,
and I don't think they're going to win out either. So I think they're out of this no matter what. If you look at their last 3 games, they're going to lose at least one of those.
Well, they got to face A&M for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole thing about this is I don't see below 8, below 7 really being there necessarily. I mean, Notre Dame will be there. I think move them to number 8. But you have to look at who's got to play something tough.
Right. And let's take a look. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, 8-9 game, Oregon's still got to play USC at US or no home. Well, they have home with USC, but I don't think they could very well lose that game and drop off of this list easily. Yeah. You look at Texas. If you look at who Texas has left, I'm trying to get there because I looked at it earlier today, and gosh darn it, my mind is not keeping that around for me. Trying to pull that up, and of course, They didn't play this week, so I got to go find them. One moment. Texas has yet to play at Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia this weekend.
Week.
Yep.
I don't think they win that. Then they have a home game against Arkansas, and then they are at Texas A&M. So play two other higher ranked teams on this list. I don't see them here in 2 weeks or 3 weeks whatsoever. And I think that opens up some room for Vandy, or depending on how things go, you got a low percentage chance, but you're looking at like a USC or a BYU sneaking in here as well.
Well, let's take a look at this. But before I go into that, Texas Tech's coach did salute BYU. They said at least they respect BYU because they joined a conference. Obvious shot at Notre Dame, you know.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So I'm just freaking.
And Notre Dame, to be clear, has played like nobody.
You're right.
Year.
Exactly.
Nobody all year.
Well, they played Texas A&M and they lost at home by 1 point. Well, let's take a look at the whole rankings, because remember, it's not the top 12 teams that are done, because there's some other considerations. But you got the 1 through 4 seeds: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama. You got first round matchups on campus, like we said: Notre Dame, Oregon, South Florida, Georgia, Miami, Texas Tech, Texas, and Ole Miss. But when you look at it, you got Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas Longhorns. The Oklahoma Sooners and BYU Cougars, Utah, Vanderbilt are all ahead of Miami. But Miami gets in as the ACC representative. Georgia Tech is 16th. I want to see Georgia Tech win the conference and be the ACC representative. Miami does not deserve it. Then, like you said, there's USC, your favorite, Michigan Wolverines. Of course, Virginia and Louisville.
No chance. They've got no chance.
Yeah.
I don't even think they could qualify if they wanted to for the Big Ten conference game, even if they won out. They play, let's see, who else do they play before they get there? It's a bunch of nobody, I can tell you that. And then they play Ohio State at the end, and they will not beat Ohio State. There is no chance of any of that.
Well, too bad Deeple's gone, because I know he'd love to hear you say that, but yeah,
no, not this year. But
this
year,
these are the games in here that I'm kind of curious about, though. Utah, assume Georgia, Texas loses 2 games, especially they're gone and down. But I mean, you got Oklahoma coming in, but they're playing Alabama this week, which, you know, if Alabama beats them, they're done. Then you got BYU, you got Utah, but then Vanderbilt here. It's like, but Vanderbilt has to beat Tennessee also. So at the end of the year,
and I think they can do it. And that's a ranked opponent still in the AP. So I think they make a case they should be able to get in there, and that would be the ultimate Cinderella team. Now, please don't put them against Indiana. And that's what the committee would do, is they would put like them against Indiana somehow, or them against some other team where you'd rather have both of these teams win, like put them against Ole Miss or something.
Yeah,
we could just have something different somewhere, and they won't have that. Well, they absolutely will not.
If you want something different, don't put Notre Dame in there. Go with Oklahoma or BYU. Just Notre Dame. I tell you, Notre Dame. Can you pick up the? Let's see. Let me do this real quick. I want to turn this down because I want to see. You know, like I said, that coach, Texas Tech coach, taking the shot at Notre Dame for that. But I mean, he was true. He was right about having some respect for BYU, that they actually chose to join a conference, the Big 12 conference. They're not in the Mountain West, they're not in the WAC, they're not in the Pac-2. They're in a legitimate, talented Big 12 conference. But when you would take a look at Notre Dame's schedule this year, you know,
I'm looking at it right now. They have beaten, or they lost to the Canes at number 10. They lost A&M. Then they played Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, and beat them. Who cares? Their only win to anyone that matters is USC.
Yep.
One real win. And that one real win does not cancel out the the 2 ranked losses that you have. I'm sorry, it does not. I'm not sorry that it doesn't. And they play Pitt this weekend at Pitt. They could very well lose that. And you know what? If they lose that, kick them all the way off this board.
No, they want to. You got to keep them. You got to keep them around. You know, they're like Alabama. You know. No, but I know they should because I mean, like you said, there are no quality wins in the schedule except for the USC win. I mean, it's not. I mean, yeah, NC State, they did upset Georgia Tech, but still, you know, it's just really blah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's where the playoffs stand. So obviously, you and I agree we don't like Notre Dame in there.
No.
I don't like Texas. I don't like Texas in there. I don't care what the standards and evaluations has said because I don't think this Texas team has earned that right this year. I mean, they also lost to Florida.
They're Fallout Dave says, "Come on now, they're paying good money for that spot." LOL. Yeah.
Okay.
The wing. You have 2 conference championships, don't you? Still yet to play. You have Ohio State that'll be playing Indiana, barring some weird problems. Those are a 1 and a 2. And then is the SEC? I'm trying to remember. Are they East and West, or are they?
No, they're one. They're top 2 now.
Okay, so you've got Alabama and A&M playing each other.
Yep.
For that, so do they just keep these teams 1, 2, 3, and 4 no matter what happens in that conference championship game?
They probably would, and I think they should. I'll be honest, because I mean, you should be rewarded for making your conference championship game. That game should not be held against you. Now, unless you lose to an upstart like that's unexpected, you know, but because the top 2 teams happen to both be in the SEC championship game or the Big Ten game, they shouldn't lose their position losing to the other one. It's not like you're losing to the 10th ranked team or an unranked team in that situation.
Oh, I would agree. And I would say that you use that to help influence what seed you give them 1, 2, 3, or 4. And so I think because the Big Ten has the edge right now, the winner of that game should get 1 and the loser of that game should get 3. And then for the SEC, you rank the winner of that game 2 and the loser of that game 4. And you just lock them in that way.
Yeah.
And too bad to everybody else.
Yeah, I know.
That's how I see it. Being the most fair way to work that out.
Yep.
I don't know. For all we know, that they're going to knock Alabama off that list or Indiana off.
But like I say,
Notre Dame in there.
I don't think you should be punished for losing in a championship game, a conference championship game, because even Lane Kiffin talked about that last year. It's like, why should we even worry about making the championship game? We're focused on the playoffs. So, that's why I think that if you make your championship game, you should not be punished for losing it. I mean, assuming you're playing the number 1 or 2 team in the nation, you know, that type of thing. Now, if you lose to Tennessee or something, I think it can vary that. So, well, let's go ahead so we can wrap up. We're every time we talk about 90 minutes or whatever, we're at 90 minutes already. It's funny how time flies. But let's take a look ahead in the Big Ten, Wisconsin and Indiana. Of course, I don't think either one of us. I mean, this is going to be a bloodbath. I mean, with Indiana's offense and
maybe
Wisconsin's,
they might sit people.
Yeah, I think you do because Wisconsin can't score. You know,
right.
We got South Carolina, Texas A&M. Shane Beamer. What will happen with him after the season? What will go on in Columbia?
You keep him around and wait for next year, and be one of those early birds to fire him if you have to.
Exactly. That's a mistake Florida did by not firing Napier earlier, like last year or before that. This could be an easy win for Texas A&M. Also, I like Marcel Reed. I like that offense, and the fact that they've got their defense functioning. A&M. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's 12.
Carolina ended up.
Yeah,
we both are disappointed about that.
Yeah, they expected. They looked good last year. I like Lenore Sellers. I like their talent, but not this year. Not this year. And of course, you highlighted See, Pitt's 22nd ranked. They could do something in this game. But I hate saying that because every damn time I put faith in a team like Pitt, when they could do something against Notre Dame, they wet the bed. And they don't even show up.
Well, but it's a noon game.
Yeah.
Give them that. It's a noon game.
All right, we got Michigan at Northwestern here. I'd pick Notre Dame in this game. I just can't pick. Till Pitt or one of these teams actually win a game like that, I can't go with them. Michigan is on the road at Northwestern. Now, this is a game, JT. Northwestern is better than we expect. They had to upset over Penn State. Not that I think we'll call for the upset here. This game could be entertaining, but it could be ugly. I mean, we got the $12 million quarterback of Michigan on pace for 9 touchdown passes.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work for Northwestern, and here's why. A lot of those games that they win, because the stadium is basically on Lake Michigan, you get a ton of that Chicago wind and a ton of cold. But it looks like right now the weather forecast has a westerly wind at only 12 miles an hour and a high of 62 with overcast. Wow. So if it was precipitation or high wind, I would say Michigan is going to be in a lot of trouble. I don't see that unless the trap game for them. But
okay,
I'm putting it on Michigan to win this one.
Okay, I would too. I do too. I just like I said, I could see it being a game, but just not pulled off. USF is at Navy. Navy's in free fall. The Bulls, I think, should go win this game. But then again,
Bulls are highly motivated, being that number 12th seed.
Yeah, but then again, if they lose, does it open it for James Madison, like True was saying about?
I don't know. I don't even know. You just not put a team in from that conference at that point.
Well, I think James Madison is from another. I don't remember James Madison. That may be American also, but because you got to have Power 5 conference.
I think they'll say if you're not ranked, sorry, you lose your seat.
At some point, you can't give it away as to a Power 5 conference. If they keep beating themselves, then at some point with 3 losses, you don't deserve it. But at least that's my attitude. Arizona's at number 25 ranked Cincinnati on FS1. Let's just go down. Air Force UConn, UConn, our friend Mark's team. Arkansas at LSU, a game that used to be on Thanksgiving weekend. That used to, mean a lot. Well, not so much, but as Chewy mentioned, if they have now switched to Michael Van Buren, it'll be interesting to see what LSU does with him under center.
I think this is an ugly game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't disagree. We've got TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. Oh God. West Virginia and Arizona State. Even HBO Max is into televising football now.
Yeah, can we stop with that, please?
Yeah. By the way, this interesting game, a paycheck game. Normally, Kentucky, just fresh off of its 38-7 crushing of Florida, is scheduling a paycheck game against Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech is 10-0. Watch Tennessee Tech go in there and beat Kentucky. I call it Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech will beat Kentucky after Kentucky just trashed Florida, played Texas really close, and everything else. Any thoughts on that, JT?
I didn't know there was a Tennessee Technical College, but now that I do know it, I think it's hilarious. And it would be funny to see them beat Kentucky.
Let's jump. Normally, I take UTEP and Missouri State, but UTEP stinks so badly. Okay.
I looked at them and I was like, UTEP is playing moist.
Yeah, most. Yeah. Well, as it was asked about earlier, opinions on Oklahoma, Alabama. Do you have any thoughts on this game right now?
Oklahoma's been overrated all year, and in that victory over Michigan, I think made them like this. I think it's Alabama, and it's not close.
Mm-hmm. Well, Oklahoma, I guess, just lost to Ole Miss, I think Mateer did, and they got John Mateer, the quarterback transfer from Washington State. This team is back to where it was now that he's been playing a little bit better. Because for a while after he hurt his wrist, he was struggling throwing the football. Oklahoma's a good team, but Alabama, I was not sold on to start the year, especially after even before, but then after the FSU debacle. But Alabama at home, I mean, they found their footing, they found their defense. I just don't see Oklahoma doing much against Alabama in this game.
Right.
If it was in Norman, I could see possibly, but with this game there, I don't think so too. And Chatty McBlogger MS, good to see you. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you tonight. Mountaineers, Sun Devils, and Tempe, Arizona. Not guaranteed victory home, and of course I'm a Sun Devil alum. Oh, cool. Well, hey, go Devils, Sun Devils. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Well, let's take a look back at that one. That game at 1:00. See, this is the problem, and I'm curious what you think, Teddy McBlogger. Tempe, Arizona. That's 2 hours behind, I think. That's the Mountain Time zone. That means this game is 11 a.m. local time.
Well, Arizona has their own time zone. I don't know if they are 2 hours behind or 3.
I definitely
They're
a step
2
down.
hours behind.
2 hours, yeah.
They are in Mountain Standard right now.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, no game should start before noon local, and even then, that should not be as often as it's happening. But I tell you, I think Arizona State wins this game. West Virginia struggles on the road. West Virginia has actually won a few games in the Big 12 recently, but Arizona State, they're definitely not where they were they last year. Losing players to Scattaboo, and it's a down year, but it's a reload. But I trust Arizona State more at home than do West Virginia at home. I mean, at West Virginia on the road, but yeah, I'm good. Go Sun Devils, and let's see what
these times are in Eastern, so it won't be 4 p.m. Eastern in Toronto. It'll be 1:00. Yeah, because Dan and I are both in Eastern time, so
yeah,
it'll be 1 and not 4. If you get in at 4, you'll be too late.
Oh man, I tell you,
barring a random delay, of
course.
Barring
random delay, yeah, you never know with weather delays. UCF is on the road at Texas Tech. Why is that game on Fox? I don't know, but see, that's I know it's conference alignments and stuff, but see, Iowa USC would be better for the 3:30 Fox game. I mean, and I'm not a fan. You got a 21-17 ranked team, but now you got UCF, who's not the best this year. Again, on the road at Texas Tech, I don't like that. NC State at Miami. Of course, Miami will probably win this game. Finally, Carson Beck
will probably get that game, and exactly nobody will watch that on Fox at 3:30. Yeah. By the way, they'll say, "Why is this game on TV?" Change it.
Yep. Because see, no love for Georgia Tech gets stuck onto the ACC network, but I'll tell you, I love that team. Yeah, they lost at NC State, but I think that Georgia Tech could take down Miami in a head-to-head matchup. Of course, they travel up to Boston College. Of course, a game you probably interested, Iowa and USC at 3:30. How do you see this one, JT? Wait, Jess. A couple weeks ago, there was a hurricane that was going into Arizona, and it was messing with the start time of the Arizona BYU game. So it can't happen. No, seriously, not just a sandstorm. It can happen. That happened earlier this year, but they didn't change the time, but it did cause a weather delay during the game. Okay, but what about you with Iowa? I know you're positive on this USC team.
Yeah, I am all on the USC bandwagon at this point this season, because I just think they've been a far stronger team and a dark horse that we're not really privy to, because people just don't talk about them. I think they do beat Iowa on the road. This game that Iowa played against Oregon, I think, probably beat them up. People don't really realize the level of caliber that you play can really impact your injuries and your preparedness for the following week.
Mhm.
So is Iowa healthy enough? Big question mark. I would not really enjoy playing a really tough physical team 1 week at home and then having to go on the road to California and do that again the next week.
Well,
I'm sitting with USC on.
Yeah, I am too. USC is seeming to be steady this and right, really consistent this year. Our resident Auburn fan, small town Republic. Howdy, solid Saturday coming up. Well, hey, my Gators only scored 4 more points against all Kentucky than your guys did, but at least you didn't give up 38 points. That's
Yeah.
ticking me off. But UVA is at Duke. I look for Duke to knock off Virginia. I think Virginia may be in a free fall with that. If they could be held by Wake Forest to 9 points, Duke can score at times. I mean, they just outscored Clemson a few weeks ago. Game in Durham. I'd take Duke in this game. You got any thought on this game?
That's a tough one to call. It is. I don't know if Duke is that strong, but UVA is in that free fall after last week, right?
Right.
I'll take UVA.
Okay.
Looking for some vengeance.
Here you go, JT Kirk. You can finally watch your Michigan State Spartans. Penn State is at Michigan State at 3:30 on CBS that you can watch, and one of the two will have to win their first conference game of the season.
Oh, I know. I was just going to say that they're only going. Only one team can stay with Purdue after this matchup.
I think that Alessio quarterback could do something for you guys.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll go to East High School and unregister somebody off of that team.
It's funny that you said that, JT, because that's what Small Time said. If Auburn and Florida played, I suppose someone would be required to win.
Yeah.
Oh,
so for folks that aren't really aware of this historical quote unquote matchup, Penn State joined, I think 30 years ago now into the Big Ten. And when they did that, they looked around and said, okay, well, you've got all these matchups that are longstanding matchups for the final game of the season. Ohio and Michigan were the Ohio State University, and Michigan were known as quote unquote the game because of course they were that pretentious to name it that, but it also had gone back 100 years. So I get that. Big Ten wanted to replicate that and get another rivalry in place. And while you don't see it the last few years, Michigan State has been one of these maybe contenders to outright winning the Big Ten, up there with Wisconsin, Penn State, and I'll let you pick one other team. You can argue with me on that. Mm-hmm. So what they said was, we're going to make this a new rivalry and kind of horseshoe the two biggest land-grant universities into the land-grant rivalry between Penn State and Michigan State. Why they're not waiting to play this for the final game of the year and like another I don't know. But
on Thanksgiving weekend.
I mean, I think that they should have postponed this matchup another week or two. It wouldn't have really hurt the schedule at all to do it, but they would have preserved that. Now this is just kind of a whatever game, and both teams are downright terrible. Neither one has won a conference game, which means they haven't won a football game in 6 or 7 weeks. Neither one of these teams has won a game in 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah, it's just amazing how Penn State fell apart in 15 days. That just was crazy. But I kind of go. I think Alessio will do good. Yeah, Alessio. I can't pronounce his last name, but Michigan State. Now that they moved to him away from Aiden Childs, then I think Michigan State at home should be able to pull this one out. But Penn State, they fought Ohio State tough recently, and still losing though. Still losing. James Madison, Appalachian at James Madison. Always be on the watch of that because, like we talked about, James Madison can beat some good teams, and if they can squeeze into the playoffs somehow, it'd be really, really interesting.
SJSU on the road at Nevada.
Ooh, at Nevada. Yay.
In Reno.
Oh, wow. So I mean, yeah, Nevada, Reno. I wonder if Sam, if you're still here, do you have any thoughts about Nevada, University of Nevada, Reno, or UNLV, Las Vegas? But hey, just not that I'm going to pick on this game. Texas State at Southern Miss. Southern Miss has won some. Talk about a team that's won football games this year. Southern Miss had a horrible season the last few seasons, and ended up taking over Marshall's head coach last year, and half the team at Marshall transferred to Southern Mississippi, where Marshall didn't even get to go to its bowl game last year. So ULM has 29 skiing national champions, water skiing to be exact. They have water skiing national champions. Oh man,
water skiing, even better, even better.
Yep. The Vols host New Mexico State at 4:15. Oh, Teague, if Teague is still around, the Belichicks of North Carolina are on the road at Wake Forest at 4:30 on the CW network. Also, I'd take Wake in this game hands down. I don't. The UNC's won a couple games. They've seemed to improve, but I just still.
Well, they're distracted, and we all know what that distraction is.
Yeah.
So
7:00, Florida at Ole Miss. Yeah, I can't say that anymore as bad as my team is. It's just like, why bother?
Why put this at 7 p.m.? We already know.
This should be the 12:00 game.
Yes, it's
honestly. But the problem is they're trying to give Lane Kiffin a nighttime game. And earlier in the season when it was set, it was supposed to be a decent game, but seriously, at this point, it's a noon game. But Lane Kiffin, and he's been right, because the problem is that a noon game for Ole Miss is 11:00 local time, and they've had their more than their share of 11:00 in the morning start times over the last couple of years.
Yeah, but it's two Eastern time teams, which says you should move it earlier as well.
Right.
But it's on ESPN, so it'll get fewer eyeballs anyway.
I'll probably be finding something else to do Saturday night. Oh, I'll be at the airport picking Ang up though about that time. But anyway,
okay.
Yep. 13th ranked Utah at Baylor. See, don't sleep on this Baylor team. They Robertson, the quarterback, can really throw the ball well. So with his arm, they have a chance at all the time. So I would Utah. I'd still pick Utah, but
Utah losing is going to help BYU, right?
Yes, it'll help a lot. Vanderbilt too. Several teams. Purdue at Washington is like, why bother? In the Big Ten. Almost said it. Like Deeple said, UCLA is at OSU on NBC at 7:30 tonight. And the SEC, big game of the week. Texas is at Georgia. I mean, I guess my kid's going to be up there, like, not going anywhere on Saturday night, but that town is a riot. We happened to be there last year when a couple years ago when South Carolina was there. I nearly got stuck in the traffic. It was like, but we got back. But I look for Georgia to win this game by at least 2 scores. I think Arch Manning has improved, but I think Arch Manning has not faced a defense like this in a few weeks. And look at Georgia to dominate Texas's offense. And like I said, 2 scores, I think. Any thoughts on this one?
Georgia.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been down on Texas all year, and I don't think they deserve that 10.
No.
But it will help Vanderbilt when Georgia wins.
Yep.
So let's see it.
All right. And then we got Virginia Tech at FSU, which was once the class matchup of the ACC. How the mighty have fallen. I look for Virginia Tech to go in there and beat FSU. I mean, Pitt went in there and beat FSU. I look at Virginia Tech somewhat slowly improving, but I'd say, take them over the Garnet and Gold. Any other thoughts with that?
Go Florida State. At that point.
Yeah. And the last game we're going to really talk about, TCU at number 12, BYU. I look for BYU to come out at home to get healthy and look early, score early and often. TCU is still tough, dangerous team, but BYU, if they're going to stay relevant, if they're going to stay in a playoff hunt, they've got to win. They can't lose. See, that's what's sad is a team like BYU that is actually pretty darn good, playing in one of the top 4 conferences, and yet they may be on the outside looking in because of the SEC getting 5 teams or the Big Ten getting 4 and stuff like that. So
I just don't see them. Well, I do see them doing it, but I don't see how you could have a USF in there above BYU if BYU wins out and a couple of the other teams lose.
Well, I know, but
there you go. I mean, this has been a team that we've been watching all season with some excitement. And this past week was a disappointing loss, but I really wanted to see them in there. Why? Because I want different teams.
Yes, I agree.
Really want some different teams in there to mix it up.
It'd be nice to see Vanderbilt, BYU, Indiana all in it. So that would be cool. But that's where we are, JT, for this week. Small Time said, if Ole Miss makes the playoffs or in Florida or LSU, then hold off announcing a head coach. You know what that means. See, that's the thing is Lane Kiffin could end this whole thing right now with a contract extension at Ole Miss. You know,
they probably can't pay him. That's probably why they.
Well, he's public, but he has said he's not making decisions for money. It's just what he said. So, and if you were with me, if you were watching with Belle the other night when I was talking to her, a Tennessee fan, there is absolutely no love for Lane Kiffin up there for the way he used them for one season and then just darted off. But yeah, I want to coach with an edge. You know, we probably get frustrated with Lane Kiffin and all that he doesn't win the big game and stuff like that. But you know what? At least winning 8 or 9 games every year, or maybe 10, and you're scoring 30 to 40 points. Please, thank you. And not clap, shift, shift, you know.
Well, winning 9 games a year, especially if you're at Ole Miss, would make you unfireable for the rest of the time. Right? I
agree. Well, that's what the thing is. Mississippi fans are trolling Florida and saying he's not going to leave and all this stuff. But then, and even the LSU and both LSU and Florida beamers are shooting back like, at least we've won a conference title or national titles and stuff. And it's like,
yeah,
comparatively, why do you think you're so relevant though to Ole Miss? Whereas Ole Miss, I don't even remember the last time they won an SEC title. I have it down somewhere, but it's like the 50s or something, 60s. Been forever.
Yeah, a lot of that kind of bragging is really meaningless because most of these fans are older, far older than the players who are signing commits at these schools. And you have to think, what damage am I doing to my program over the last 5 to 10 years? Because 5 to 10 years is the realistic memory of a lot of these players, especially if they don't live in your state, of what your program's going to do. So the fact that like you're looking at Florida, if they haven't been relevant for 5 to 10 years, they're not relevant to anybody that they're trying to recruit. Alabama, falling off a little bit has really been dangerous. The reason Ohio State can stay where they are in large part is because they don't ever seem to fall off. And so they, but that's a 5 to 10 year thing. They can have 2 years and get bad, but then get really good and you're fine. But the kids, because that's are the kids that really start watching TV at 8, 9, 10 years old, you have that between then and like 16, 17. And at that point, your best players know Ohio State, they know Alabama, they know Texas, they know, insert 6 Oregon, 6, 7 other teams in that. Indiana's not there yet. So the fact that they're doing what they're doing with what they have is tremendous for them, but they're going to have an easier time in the next 2 to 3 years with recruiting talent. Who's going to have harder time? Well, if Michigan doesn't do well for the rest of the year, they're really going to be looking on the outside in. Tennessee is going to be looking on the outside in. Florida's on the outside in. It's not, I won 52 conference championships before, we got rid of their helmets and instant forward pass. That nobody nobody cares about that when you're 16.
Mhm.
I argue, nor should they. The only thing that really matters is what you've done lately, because the kids that are signing up have a smaller sample size. That's not their fault. But unless you've got a real good family history at a school, I'm sorry, the best talent's going to go to these winning teams. And until you get to this saturation point where you just can't afford to pay these players, you are not going to spread out that parity. You're going to have to get lucky. And can do it. Indiana can do it. But there's very few teams that can. So when we look at BYU that's coming up like this, we're like, oh wow, they're doing something special. I think that man, I don't want to speak for you. It's probably like seeing that so much. These old schools tend to just for forever because of this scenario that is painted for you. And so when we can defy that, that's something special.
All right. Well, thank you, JT. 1963 was the last time Ole Miss won a conference title and didn't win the West once from 92 to 2023. Exactly. And that's the thing I like. A lot of Florida and LSU fans are sitting back is like, who are you to run your mouth and say you're this big relevant program? You're not. You haven't done it. You haven't won anything. But well, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's been an interesting 2 hours of technical issues and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm going to look at things. Hopefully we can avoid this again somehow with 2 different streams. But thank you for everybody being on each side, because we can still all the chats come in through to StreamYard, even from Twitch also, and we can pull them in. So regardless of what platform you watched on, thank you so much for doing that. And we hope to see you next week, and hopefully things are ironed out a lot better. Tomorrow night, I'm planning normally is Wes Cagle at 8, go West Dadman. We're looking at maybe doing a squirrel stream, late night with Dadman and friends at 9. So follow me on Twitter, DadmanWalking55, and get YouTube also, get the notifications. We are now back to 749 subscribers at last check. So one more subscriber will get us to 750. We actually hit 750 earlier today, but we hit it, but then it went backwards to 747. And then 2 more. Thank you to the 2 subscribers. I'm out there looking. I don't know who you are, but thank you for doing it. And hopefully you avail yourself to our Fortnite streams and all the other stuff that we do, not just sports. But hey, thank you for 11 people still hanging around for sports. That's a lot, and that's an improvement. And we appreciate that from everybody. JT, you got any last thoughts?
No, but I am maybe wondering, do I actually watch the State game this weekend, which could be a huge waste of my time. But
go watch one game. You need to watch Penn State, Michigan State. Just cheer for your honor, your alma mater one more time. So root for your team and return for more of us. So
and it's cold as hell for this time of year, and it's this week.
Oh yeah, y'all already got snow early. That's crazy.
Which is it's not outside of possibility, but the chances of getting snow before Thanksgiving are like 10% from my part of the region. So kind of demoralizing. If weather doesn't break before then, I'll be stuck inside.
There was a chance that I was going to end up in Michigan last year around Thanksgiving, but it didn't happen. But it's like, and I think it was probably, had we been up there, we would have been caught in the snow and ice. So it's
the airport would have been open if you flew.
No, we drive everywhere.
See, it wouldn't have been Michigan where you would have the problem. It would have been the transition region.
Or the mountains in Tennessee. That ice driving on those mountains would be. And that's just after Hurricane Helene gone through there and destroyed some of those mountain roads.
Yeah, but it would have been so it would have been in that transition region between the two of us where you would have had the worst driving conditions. So
not just Toledo either, right?
Right. So
Okay. All right, folks. Thank you. Just put out my Twitter link out there. Remember, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, all Dan Bam Walking 55. Mrs. should be live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Join her for that, for your daily dose of positivity. And we should be live tomorrow night at some point. I will get that out. I'll work on those streams. On that note, everybody, have a great night, and we will catch you next week, if not sooner. Bye, all.
bye all.